So I got an XP10 and I wanted to do a quick review because I'm not happy with it. I've had an XP8 for many years and been very, very happy. Recently, its recharger cord got, the little connector got worn out, which is fine. I think I've had it like 4 years. So okay, I need a new one. So I was going to get another one on eBay, but I decided that lo and behold, look, there's an XP10. So I got a Verizon business account, went ahead and bought the XP10 through them to make it all legitimate, and never considered that there would be issues, but there are. One of the things that I did was, the first thing I noticed was that it wasn't nearly as bright. I've measured it. It's 42 foot candles on the old XP8 and 38 foot candles on the XP10, all with maximum settings. This was disappointing because you need to be able to see it in daylight. The other thing that became really a major eyesore, which is going to be kind of hard to see on this, I'm using an iPad to do this. It's going to be hard to see. In real life, it's extremely obvious, but through the iPad, it's a little harder to see. Notice the white on this is really white. Notice over here that it's blue. Notice the color of the hair here versus the color of the hair here. The XP10 does not have color settings. It's missing things like mode settings, color mode, like vivid, and temperature adjustments. It does not have those. And the color temperature is way off. It's way blue. And I've explored every single option, including different apps that change the color, and that cannot be corrected. You can correct the color somewhat, but the problem is that you end up having to sacrifice brightness, because in order to increase red, you have to drop the blue and the green. So there's no way to really do that. So the color rendering is my biggest disappointment. It really does look bad, and the brightness isn't nearly what it should be outdoors. So that's really a problem, because I do use it in full sunlight, and that makes it harder to see. Other issues. So it said it was going to be a bigger screen. Well, we're looking at the exact same image on both phones. It is not any bigger at all. The reason for this is because they put the buttons on the screen rather than being nice, cool, hard buttons. This is a huge difference in operation. I find myself constantly, accidentally, while typing, scrolling to some of these and losing track inside the application and having to go back to it. And having those be on the screen is really annoying versus the nice hard buttons which the XP8 had. Sound. So it's louder, at least for phone calls. However, at the maximum settings for like ring and like message stuff, you can't reach the same volumes that you can reach with the speakerphone, which is just bizarre, but it's substantially quieter at full maximum than the XP8. And again, these are critical functions because you got to be able to hear it in the field. And so because it's so much quieter for ringing and alerts, that's a huge issue. So those are biggies for me. And I'm really disappointed because the main features of this, which is a bright screen and a good loud ring and alert, are critical for this function. So the phone in my book fails all the way around because it's just not usable like the XP8 was. I ended up spending $500 to get a brand new XP10, and that was a big mistake because I really just want to go back to an XP8. The problem though is with the XP8 is it's getting older, and so it's slower running newer apps, and it's just not as functional as it was. But so switching to an XP10, be totally aware that you're going to lose brightness, your color rendering will be wrong and uncorrectable. Unlike the XP8, which allows you to choose vivid and change your color temperature if you want to, the XP10 is missing all of those options. Also, the screen is not bigger, not at all. The only thing that they increased was the area to add the buttons. So that didn't really do anything. The overall phone, of course, is bigger, which is something I didn't expect either, because the dimensions seem the same, but it's not. It's clearly a bigger phone. Also, they tout the battery. They tout the battery as being better. Well, that's not true either. The battery isn't better because the phone is much more, it takes more power. The battery life ends up being less than what you get out of the XP8. So that also is quite an issue. So overall, the XP10 is definitely a step down in a number of different areas of performance.